I started stalking my own stalker, and he turned out to be a lot more dangerous than I ever imagined. My stalker had been making my life a living hell for a few months, first appearing in my life by telling me to look outside, and when I did, I found photographs of me in my garden. Over time, he started leaving threats at my doorstep, contacting me and sending me more pics of myself. I was majorly creeped out, and my last straw was when I came home to find my guitar had been placed in a different room. I went to the police immediately, but for some reason they refused to do anything, saying I didn't have enough evidence, and so I took matters into my own hands and began stalking my stalker. Since he would stay outside my apartment building, hang around my favorite coffee shop, and show up at the gym I go to, I started doing the same thing to him. And if he would follow me to the grocery store, visit the exact park where I jogged, and linger around the local library, I would follow him just the same. I was determined to learn his routine to get to the bottom of this. The notes continued throughout this time, and it was very clear that he had not yet noticed I was doing the same as him. Now, believe it or not, it wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I figured out his identity through some digging online. I didn't know much about him at first, but that changed quickly. I looked through Google to try to find social media accounts, public records, and browsed websites that gave free background checks. I started following him everywhere he went, keeping detailed notes of his activities. I documented his routines, his interactions, and even the shady places that he hung around often. It was a dangerous game, but I was determined to put an end to this. Following this man was difficult, considering he was stalking my every move first. I noticed he had a pattern to his movements, a precise way that he went about his day that made it easy to predict where he'd be and when. I followed him to work, to the bars he drank at, and even to his home. I'd park a block away and watch from a distance, my heart pounding every time he looked in my direction. I started noticing that he was actually a rather sad individual, with no family and no real friends. It didn't make him less of a psychopath in my eyes, but there's something very sad about watching a man drink whiskey all alone under a bridge at 3 a.m. Throughout the time I spent stalking him, I played it safe and let him continue stalking me as well to not draw attention. I would often catch him looking at me on my way to work, or at the gym, or down the same aisle as me at the store, but I acted as if I didn't notice a thing. The notes continued, but him coming into my house stopped. I continued my normal routine, so that when he would run his rounds, I was exactly where he expected me to be each day. One rainy night around 2:30 a.m., I had followed him to this sketchy spot near a bar. Brian paid careful attention to his surroundings that night, making sure he wasn't seen. He had a heavy-looking duffel bag walking across the street and went inside an abandoned warehouse. I parked a little ways away to not draw attention to myself and snuck in. I peeked over the wooden box that I was hiding behind and saw a couple of goons speaking with him, but I was too far away to hear them. He dropped the suitcase in front of them as if expecting something in return. As I tried to listen closer, I made eye contact with the one to the left of Brian. He shouted, exposing my location. One goon picked up the duffel bag. My heart started beating out of my chest. I ran outside and they chased after me. I heard a couple of firearm shots zoom past me. When I got outside, I saw some people.
Click the link in my profile to watch the exciting follow-up.